guys, at this point I've already made the tier list, but I wanted to make sure to include. If for some reason you're still avoiding spoilers to any of the Pokemon or anything about Scarlet and Violet, you're going to get spoiled watching this video. Best of luck. Like, 3, 2, 1. Enjoy. Alright, what's up guys? We're doing another tier list today. Ran a community poll a little while back about what you guys liked seeing, and it seems like this is up there. This is a video that I planned on doing pretty much since the game came out, Scarlet and Violet that is, alongside a review and my thoughts on Gen 9 as a whole, so that'll probably be coming out relatively soon, but I wanted to get this out there first, that way you know how I feel about all the new Pokemon that we have for these new games. There's quite a lot of them, which is a pleasant surprise to me. Pokemon as a whole, there's not very many that I dislike, so I doubt we'll see many in the D tier, and know that if something is in the D tier, I probably don't hate it unless maybe I otherwise specify. One thing that I would like to ask for is, as you guys are going through, if something that I rank really sticks out to you as like strongly disagree or something like that, remember, it's just an opinion, but I would also like to hear your guys' opinion. So feel free to fill out one of these and link it in the comments or send it to me and I'll take a look. Maybe we can react to some of your guys too if you fill out a bunch of different ones. That would be fun. That being said, let's go ahead and get into it, and I'll try to make it relatively quick for, I believe, 103 new creatures, plus there's different forms and stuff. Okay, so all that being said, I'll have to remember to myself to put a spoiler warning before all this. If you somehow have made it this far after the game's released and don't want to be spoiled and still haven't been spoiled. There's some new Paldean forms, regional variants. So we start off with 3 of the Tauros variants here. I'm going to try to group all the things that have different forms kind of as one mon, unless otherwise I specify. So Tauros, his Paldean form is fighting, and then he has 2 very rare variants. I like the fire one better, which I believe is in Violet, which is the game that I've played. I just said I was going to rank them together. I do feel like the fire one's the coolest, but I'm going to put them all in A. Like I said, I want to keep them together. The fire one's my favorite, and I don't plan on rearranging much within the tier, so I'll kind of talk, maybe I'll try as I go, but other than that, pretty cool mon. I like the idea of having variants off of a regional variant. Another one here is a Paldean Wooper. Wooper itself is fine. Oops, I grabbed Tarantula. That's okay. I would say Wooper is like a B. He's about as cool as the original. I don't feel too different. Sprigatito, the grass starter, I'll put in S, actually. I really like Sprigatito. It's a very cute Catmon. I picked it first. I don't feel as strongly about the others or the evolution, so let's get to that. Florigato, I believe is its name. I have all the mons listed from Cerebi pulled up in case I need to. They're still relatively new to me, so in case I need names. But Florigato, it's an okay middle evolution. As soon as it stood up, I got mad. I'll probably put it in C. Actually, no, good B. And then Meowscarada, about the same. Once I accepted that, okay, this mon's going to stand up, then I would say for a standing up bipedal mon, it's solid. Really like Fuecoco as well. I'm going to put it S tier. Oops, I grabbed Relo or whatever. Seems like the clicking is like off slightly. Whatever. Really like Fuecoco. I went back and forth about picking him, but my brother ended up choosing him, so I went with Sprigatito. Crocolore, is that his name? Yeah, Crocolore. He's pretty cool. I'll go B as well. I haven't seen him much. And then Skeledirge, I think. I like that it stays a croc, like on all fours and everything. And I think there's some like music inspiration to this one. It's pretty cool. I'll go B as well. I'll admit I didn't love any of the final evolutions. Quaxley was my least favorite out of the group, but it grew on me since the original trailer. I would probably put it in A. He's got some swag to him. However, Quaxwell and Quaxquavel. These might be two of my least favorite mons. I would probably put Quaxwell here. I at least kind of get where they're going with it. And then this is one. This is a very polarizing mon, I've learned. It's one of the least favorite things I've ever seen. It's gross looking to me. I think it's supposed to be like a peacock. It really messed me up in battle, but not for me. Let's see, I kind of moved it. So I'll go to Lechonk. Lechonk's an S tier, easy. However, the evolutions Oinkalone were pretty disappointing. I'll put them in like C. They're okay, they're fine, but like for what it was expectation-wise, I was hoping for better. They're kind of just stock normal mammal, Pokemon. Tarantula, I think, is pretty cool. For an early game bug, he's pretty well designed. I'll go A. I like that it's a spider made out of like thread. That's pretty interesting. And then his evolution Spidops. I'm purely just going off like how I like them and not competitive. And the reason I have to specify is I'm pretty sure this is one of the worst like competitive Pokemon, but I like his design, so I'm gonna go A there. He looks cool. I wish he was much more useful. Dunsparce. I feel like I'm surprised they don't have another form for him on here. It's just Dunsparce elongated, and I think that's kind of funny. I was more hopeful for a Dunsparce evolution after all these years since Gold and Silver, but that they kind of just leaned into more Dunsparce. That's pretty solid to me. And then there's like a triple version too, where he has like a third like thorax, I guess you'd say. He's solid. Nimble and Lokix are pretty good bug Pokemon. Nimble, I'll put B. He's kind of just a cricket. Lokix is pretty awesome. I'm going to put him in S tier. He's kind of riding the line between A and S. He's dark type, I believe, and not fighting, which kind of threw me. But very cool mon. Very menacing for a bug type. And bug type's probably my favorite. Alright, now we are to... Oh, is it Relor? I think that's how you say it. Let me see if I can find him here. And Rabska. So Relor and Rabska, they don't do much for me. I like the idea of like the dung beetle Pokemon. It rolls around like mud, and then I think it's like gold in the shiny one, like a golden ball. And then it turns psychic type. That's a little bit more cool to me. But for a bug type that's a new like Pokemon, it didn't stick out to me maybe as much as I would have hoped for. Grievard and Houndstone, I believe. Pretty cool. I like most Dogmon, so this one's going to go in B. I feel about B for a lot of them, so hopefully that's not too polarizing. I do think Houndstone's cooler. He's pretty much just bigger version. Whoops, moved him. But he's a little bit more menacing for a ghost type. I think that's important. So I'll throw him in A. Flittle, I was not a big fan of. I'll put Flittle in D. It threw me off what it was becoming, which is Espathra, which, again, is not anything I'm crazy about. It's okay. It's got weird hair for... it's supposed to be like an ostrich, I think. And I didn't put together when I first saw this in the wild that it was like a little chick, I think. So, I don't know. It didn't connect for me. I did put Espathra on the team for a little bit and ended up going a different direction. Farigiraf is very cool for an evolution to an old mon in Girafarig. I like that they kept the palindrome, and I like how they implemented the tail, and it's huge in game, which makes sense for a giraffe. Very cool. I believe it's pretty good too, but I don't really play competitive, so I don't know too much. Then we got like a converging evolution thing with Wiglet and Wugtrio. It's grown on me. I didn't like Wiglet at first. Now I think it's okay. So I'll go this. And Wugtrio is pretty cool. It's like those, I don't know what the name of the little eels are that like pop out of the rock. Wiglet's the same thing, but it's easier seen, I think, here with the rock in the design. I'll put it in B. Dondozo is one of the mons that I think is really cool. Things that just impressed me like in-game when I encountered them, because I went in fairly blind to most designs, holds pretty true to me. Dondozo's size and like how imposing it was stuck out to me. I thought it was a Wishcash evolution, but it's just a really big solo catfish mon. I'm struggling. I'm gonna put it in A, but it would be close to S. Veluza just seems like Aracuda again. I like its like fillet away attack, but um, it's fine. B. Let's throw it like there. I don't know. Really like that we finally got a dolphin mon, like a proper one. Finizen and then Palafin, is that right? Let's see. I think other way. Yeah, Finizen and Palafin. So just the idea of seeing a dolphin, I thought it was cute for the first time. That automatically warrants it a B. I'm kind of going back and forth whether I care within the tier. And then these go together. I didn't realize that this was one Pokemon when I was first, because I was playing the game and it took me a couple, probably 2 weeks or so, 3 weeks to beat the game. So I got spoiled to this form on YouTube and I expected my Finizen to evolve into it, and then I saw Palafin, who looks almost identical, but its ability is really cool. The ability drastically changed my opinion because I didn't like that it turned into this like bipedal like superhero thing, but the idea that it's like a masked hero, that it changes when it swaps out, that way you don't see it. It's like costume change, and me just being like a superhero kind of nerd, that hit right for me. Smoliv, and then I forget the other ones. I didn't end up using this at all. Oops, I think I went past it. Smoliv, Doliv, and Arbalova. I didn't see Arbalova, I don't think, until I beat the game. Smoliv's okay. Oops, I keep grabbing the wrong one. Smoliv is okay. I like the direction they went. Doliv, for a middle evolution to this like feminine grass type, I think they did it well. And Arbaliva, is that right? Also pretty cool. I didn't really get to see it very much. Like I said, it popped up in like a raid, I think, like after I beat the game as like a helping mon, and that was the only time I remember seeing it. Maybe a gym fight? I can't remember. I accidentally grabbed Titan, it looks like, so we'll wait on there. Capsicid, it's another one kind of like Flittle. It's kind of weird looking to me. I like it better than those. It would be riding the line between C and D. Scovillain, finally a grass fire. Everyone was throwing out in the Pokemon community like the idea of like a hot pepper for this grass fire mon, and they went that way. And it's relatively cool as a design, but I think the expectation was higher and it was a little bit let down. So I'll say B there too, but I want it to be A, but it was on my team for a bit. It wasn't great. The two heads kind of felt weird. Like it would have been more cool, I think, if it just had the single like dinosaurish head that changed collars maybe, or something like that with an ability. Something like that would be cool. Tadbulb, I'm on a second playthrough right now. I tried to use it, but it died because I was doing like a Nuzlocke. It's okay. It's fine, you know. Belly Bolt, I believe it's called. I was hoping to get to use this, but, I'll play through the game several times, so eventually. But it looks really cool to me. It's friend-shaped, big round boy. Totally all about that. Any frog, reptile mon, like the bugs, all those are right up my alley. The eyes are a little weird to me because the things on its head are more like Beats by Dre than eyes, but it's okay. We got the Carmons next. I think it's Varoom and Reveroom. For a Carmon, usually these aren't like my types of Pokemon. I think it was executed as well as it could have been for me to enjoy it. That the Pokemon itself is not like the wheels and stuff, but it's like holding rocks that like help it evolutionary wise, like move around quicker and that kind of thing, I believe. It's implemented to the best of its ability. I'm going to put this higher for... my next statement's going to make me move it up here. This design I do not feel is A, but the implementation of the Starmobiles went a lot better than I expected because they were actually very challenging fights for me. Maybe it's the levels I did them at and everything, but the different types and everything, I ended up actually being challenged by this fight, so I'm going to put it up there just for that aspect. Orthworm, this was one I didn't see until I saw the Titan in game, which was fun. I like him. He's a doofus. He's funny looking, but it's alright. The small one, a lot less cool, but I saw the Titan first and that like stuck in my head. One of my favorite evolution lines of new mons is so simple, yet I think it's cute. I love it. We have Tandemouse and Mousehold, which I love the names too. Tandemouse is going to be an A, and Mousehold is going to be an S for me. Mousehold, I love that name. I love the idea that they could have one kid or two kids. It's really hilarious to me that if you look at them closer, you can't even really tell in these pictures, but one of the two is wearing like a shirt and the other one looks like it's got like jeans on, like it's a just slight hue of like blue, I think. And the shiny's terrible because you can't tell, but the shirt and pants just change colors. It's at least kind of funny. Population Bomb, its signature move, very cool too. It can hit like 10 times. Kind of cracked. Okay, Citadel will do first. It's okay. You'll notice a lot of the mons that are like the small but evolve into something bigger. I don't really care one way or another too much about C. I would never... It's not cool enough that I would like want to leave it as is or anything. But it turns into Cititan that is a very cool mon in and of itself. I tried not to use too many of the mons that I already knew about from the trailer, but it was cool. I think I think he was using it on his team, so I don't think I ended up trying to use this or anything, but very cool mon. I like that it's pure ice. Okay, next we have the pseudos. Frigibax, Arctibax, and Baxcalibur, I believe. Let me know if I got that wrong. The little one doesn't look great, I'll be honest. Sure, right there. But they start to get really cool, in my opinion. This dinosaur-esque like pseudo is awesome to me. Even for a middle, I'm going to put him in A, Arctibax, and then anything that gets like Godzilla-y is right up there in S. So Baxcalibur, I like the Excalibur inclusion in the name. Love it. Ice Dragon, very cool. Probably not the best pseudo, but... Next we have Tatsugiri. I got really confused by this thing at first until Adam explained the like teamwork with Dondozo. So that's a very cool ability, basically, that it hops in his mouth, and it and Dondozo are like a brain and muscle kind of like partnership there. I'm going to put them all together in A as well. I could be argued into S. I very much like it. I like that it's strong on its own, or at least like relatively solid. Very cool, like the different colors. I like it's like a Sushimon. The Dragon Titan-ish whole thing was cool. All around love it. Cyclozar was not one that I was super into at the beginning, but I caught a shiny, and it was my first shiny out of a solid handful when I've played this game so far, and that made me add it to the team, and I appreciate it, especially its Shed Tail move. It came in handy a lot. Shiny's like a nice gold, if I remember. Pretty awesome. I'm going to put him in A now. I don't think he would have been that high except for that whole shiny finding and everything. This is one of the worst like entire lines in my opinion. Just like didn't do it for me. Palma, I think. It's the Pikachu clone. I do appreciate that it is also fighting type, or at least becomes part fighting type. But other than that, it just gets to be a bigger version of itself. It looks like a fan-designed Pikachu clone. Like, it doesn't really have anything special to me. It's not, like, overly cute. It's not overly cool. It doesn't change a ton or get wildly awesome. I don't know. It's a C line of mons for me. I feel they're also similar. I feel the same about them. Wattrel I caught early on. It's okay. As an early bird, I guess you would call it in this one. It's maybe not fitting that definition perfectly, but I like it, and then I used Kilowattrel for a long time. I'm going to put it in A as well. I liked how fast and especially offensive it was, and just it's like mini Zapdos, kind of. I think you would call this Bombardier, I think is how you'd pronounce it. I didn't see this one either till the Titan. It's solid. I thought it was a rock type for a long time because it drops like the boulders. I think it has an ability that gives it like rock stab, but I think they should have leaned into that even more. It's supposed to be like a stork that's like delivering stuff, but it's evil, so that's why it's dark type. I don't know. Squawkabilly. Originally, when I first saw it, I probably would have thought D, but I'll say it's C now. I appreciate the different colors. Its hair threw me at first, but it's not as much as I would have maybe, originally thought. It's okay. I like that it's the like flying Taximon in this game versus Sword and Shield, even though Corviknight's in the game, because of Tinkaton and like it like slings boulders up in the air because it hates Corviknight or something, so they can't use those. Pretty interesting. Flamigo. I anticipate this being a polarizing one. I am gonna put him, I think, an A. Like, it's very funny to me that they just said, "Here's a flamingo. We removed one letter. It's now a Pokemon." I didn't like it as much at first, but getting to see it in game, and I've been watching a playthrough of Vinny on Nintendo. He's a PokeTuber, and he loves it. And it's funny just to hear him talk about like it's just a flamingo. Sometimes that's the best way to handle a new Pokemon. It's fighting type too, and not like a water or something like that, so that makes it interesting. And I'm pretty sure it's like really good offensively for how early you can get it. You can get it like level 6, I think. Cloth. Cloth's pretty cool. I was hoping for maybe like an evolution or something like that. It ended up kind of just being okay to me. It's just a rock type and not like a water type like you'd maybe expect with a crab, so that's kind of redeeming when they're different like that. The Titan fight was kind of cool because it's usually the first one you'll run into, but it didn't really do anything special either. I'm gonna hopefully say these right. Knackley. Oh, let's find these and do my best. Knacklestack and Garganackle. Really, I wonder if you guys can hear Ganon barking. Didn't like this dude very much at the beginning. He's grown on me now that I see what he turns into, and I get the idea that he's like rock salt. And then this like Knacklestack is like Minecraft Pokemon. That was funny to me. And then Garganackle, any like the big golem-y kind of mons, like that does it for me too. I didn't see him till I think very late in the game either. Maybe Adam was using one, I saw it or something like that. But there's definitely just like archetypes of Pokemon that do it for me, and he falls into that. Like I'm a big Regirock's probably my favorite Reggie, for example, and he's kind of in that category. Glimmet and Glamora, I think. Glimmet's kind of weird to me. I'd put it down here, maybe in D. I think it's rare, but like, I don't know, it doesn't seem that special. And then Glamora's pretty cool. I would put Glamora in A. I like its ability that drops toxic spikes and that it kind of is a rock poison, but it like disguises itself on like cave walls as like a big flower. The champion uses it, and it's found in Area 0. It's got cool things going, but there's maybe one thing stopping it from being any higher. Shroodle's a D. I don't get it. I'll just say I don't know. It's like a little grub larvae thing that becomes Graphii, which is a monkey. I'm missing something here, I think. It didn't connect for me until I like was told that evolves into Graphii. Graphii is okay. I've went up and down with how I feel about it. I like its like punk graffiti artist kind of like vibe to it. Monkeys in general aren't like, if there's mons that I like, usually the monkey mons are ones that I am not into, but he's cool enough that he lands in B. Fido and then Duxbun are two of my favorites. Fido's S, easy. Let me put him here, and then love Fido, fairy bred dog. I was hoping that its evolution would be called purebred. I thought that would be really funny, but it's up there too. I like Fido better, but it stays pretty cool as Duxbun. I like that it's like not weak to fire because it gets like roasted in the oven basically. It's a cake dog or a pastry dog. What turns into Mabostiff? I gotta remember its name. Maschiff. So Dogmons, they're up there for me. He would be a B probably, and then Mabostiff I used on my team, and I think he made it like all the way through the game. Love him. Love the Titan story with him. Easily one of my favorites. Bramblin and Bramblegast. Pretty cool. They're very similar to me, but mostly I think because I haven't used them. I think I would put them in B. I think they could go up higher if I were to use them and get to enjoy them. Grass Ghost, I believe. It's funny to me that you have to walk and let the tumbleweed kind of roll for it to evolve. I like that aspect. Maybe could have done more jumping from one evolution to the next. The two Gimme Ghouls, I liked more like before I saw it in game. Like the mimic idea was cool as someone who's at least tried to play D&D. Um, but it didn't really like pose as much of a threat or like play into anything gameplay wise nearly as much as I expected. So I'd probably put it in C, both of them. Although I think this one's maybe cooler. I don't know. They both could have been cooler. And then Gold Dingo is okay too. I'll just put him there too. He's a little derpy to me for the 1000th Pokemon and how you get him, and apparently he's cracked in VGC, so all that's kind of like, really? I don't know. He's okay. I thought he was a Rastafarian Pokemon before I really, like, got to see him, I guess. But I do believe he, like, skates or something. I don't know. Okay, now we have some real spoilery stuff here. I'm not going to remember any of their names, so we'll say... Oh, I think I do know this one. Great Tusks. Very cool. I loved the Paradox Mons. For the most part, I'll say A. We're running kind of long, so I'll try to speed run this. Amoonguss is not one of my favorites normally anyway, but I wouldn't say it went really up or down. It's funny to me, I think they made its speed like one stat off to where you could really outspeed the fastest Mons and like spore them or something. I don't know. Sandy Shocks, I think. This kind of confirms that, like, if everything continuity-wise is true in the games, that these are from, like, billions of years ago, that Magnemite and Magneton are not man-made. That's kind of interesting to me. Maybe there's some alien stuff going on. It's weird with, like, the walking on the magnets. It's okay. The Magnemite line is weirdly one of my better appreciated ones from early Pokemon, so it's less than that for me. Screamtail, I know. It's about the same as Jigglypuff. It's got a weird tail of hair. I don't know. It's okay too. Misdreavus, I'm not a big fan of the wing things. I just said I liked a lot of the Paradox Mons, but we've got like 3 in a row that are like okay for me. But if the worst ones are still okay, I guess that makes sense. So we have like the Larvesta kind of thing. Volcarona, maybe. Love this one. Very cool. Like I said, I'm into the Bugmons. This one's probably S for me. I really like it. I don't know if I like it more than the future one or not, because I guess that one's probably Larvesta, technically. Soaring Moon is awesome. I like it better than the Mega. It's more imposing, where the Mega is kind of like silly, like jet-like. Iron Treads is also A, but it's definitely below Great Tusks. Its face is the only thing off for me. Let's see. Iron Moth, Iron Wings. Can't remember exactly. The naming convention is my biggest downfall with these. Love it. Very cool. I didn't see it till that fight at the end. Really into this one. I think I like Volcarona more than Larvesta, so this one maybe should be above the Slither Wing or whatever, but either way, S tier. Iron Hand's pretty cool. I think I like it more than regular Hariyama, that it can like... It reminds me of like an AED, almost, with its hands. Iron Jugulus, I've learned people don't understand that word refers to like a neck. Adam and I were talking about that. He's S tier, but Hydreigon is probably S tier for me too, and it doesn't change much, so just like a metal version of that, like a Mecha King Ghidorah, if you're a Godzilla fan. Very awesome. This one's probably my favorite, because Tyranitar is one of my favorite Mons, and it basically takes it from Godzilla to Mecha Godzilla. There's like a beta Pokemon from like before Red and Blue, I think, came out, that's called like Godzillante, that they were kind of messing around with, so I usually give that name to my Tyranitars if I ever use them, so maybe this one would be like Mecha Godzillante if I were to use it. Iron Bundle is solid. I don't really like Delibird, and this one is solid to me. I like that they made it like viable, and I think it's really good competitive. I think one of the more recent like VGC tourneys or something. I think the winner had this on the team. Iron Valiant being like a mix of Mega Gallade and Gardevoir is really cool. I think this one's S. I found a shiny of this as well in game. Very early after I saw it too, to where I had to like check is that a shiny or not, or is it usually silver. I think all the shiny future mons are all like chrome. But like that one. Okay, now we have the legendary Quartet, the Ruins of Nature, I think. I'm not even going to try with their names. But the Bull Tinglu, maybe? I just said I wasn't going to try. I'm trying. With this one at least. He's probably my least favorite. He's B. I do like the inspiration and how you find all these. They're going in the right direction for sure. Oops, where'd I put that? He's higher too. I like the fish a little bit more. I don't. For a legendary, it seemed like too small scale for me. That's the only issue I have with it. The saber-toothed tiger and the snail are my favorites for sure. I'd say that's A tier, and I think this is Wochian, maybe. Used it on my team a little, like, for the post game, I guess. It took me a long time to find the stakes. Oops. All right, we got, I think, Kiraidon and Miraidon. I like Miraidon better, so this will go in B. He'd probably be A. The legendaries didn't do a ton for me. I'm not even really counting the bike form, but the Violet one's definitely better. I don't really get why this is at the end, not being the pseudo, and so, well, there's a couple like that. Tinkatink, maybe D even. But Tinkatuff and Tinkaton are very cool. I would say B, and then I really like Tinkaton, so I would say this is S. All I can think of is Charlos. I think it's Charcadet. It's solid. It's weird to me that it's a split evolution and there weren't like two. And then Ceruledge and Armarouge. I think I like them the same, honestly, and they're both probably A tier for me. Maybe high A, low S. A lot of people like the Violet one more, but I do like the like cannon arm vibes from Armarouge, I believe. Toadscool and Toadscruel were very stupid to me at first, but they've grown on me. They're just, sometimes a mon is like so dumb that it's silly and I get enjoyment from it, and I would put Toadscool and Toadscruel in that category. I get it. They're mushrooms. They're not related to a jellyfish at all, but I see the similarities. So this one kind of like, even more than Wiglet and Wugtrio makes sense to me. Didn't see this till the very end of the game. King Gambit is awesome. I didn't know I needed an evolution to like Poniard and Bisharp, and I like its evolution method of you have to go around and beat the other like lead Bisharps. Clodsire is number 1, that's obvious. I'll talk about him a little bit. I was just going to put him at the top and go on. My favorite Numon, I got him very early on my run, and he stayed alive throughout my whole like blind Nuzlocke. He's probably not really great competitively and stuff. He's just a derp. I loved throwing him out of the Pokeball and letting him run around, and he was just acting silly, and it was fun. Alright, and then finally, Annihilate. Not really in C. Would probably ride that line, too, of like A to S. Another one, I didn't know I needed a Primeape evolution until I saw it, and Primeape literally gets so angry that it dies is a cool evolution method. Alright, let me do a quick scan here and then we'll wrap up. I tried to evenly distribute as much as possible, but at the same time being genuine with it. Looking at these, and I am thinking like none of those really do much for me. These are actively kind of like especially not into that. That would be, if I had an F tier, I might put it there. B, I definitely don't think any of these I would drop down. There's a few that I would consider moving up. Like maybe like Florigato and Meowscarada, Dudunsparce. I'm going to do that actually. And then let's see here. If I was doing the Tauros independently, I might bump it down. Let's see. I think I'm going to bump down... Well, no, because I like the Starmobiles. I think I'm going to leave it alone, and then S tier, or any that can bump up. I think Dondozo, actually, should be up here. And then I'm going to move this up as well. Very cool. And then I think I'm going to leave it there. So let me know what you guys think. Like I said, if you guys go and make your own tier list and send it to me, even if it's not Gen 9, some of the old ones, there's a ton of different Pokemon ones on there. Maybe we could do a video where I react to your guys's. If I get enough of them, I will do that. Any major disagreements, leave them in the comments. Feel free to leave a like, sub if you haven't. Share this one out if you enjoyed it. This one is one of the longer ones, I think, of the year, so put some effort into it. Alrighty, we'll go ahead and wrap up here, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.